Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today I'm going to take you guys through what a typical Sunday in my life looks like. Alright, so the first thing I like to do every morning is weigh myself to see where I'm at for the day. I'm on a cut right now, so I'm definitely tracking this. It says 175.8, but I do have my phone in my pocket and some camera gear, so I weighed myself before I filmed this, and I actually weighed 174.2. So after weighing in this morning, I'm around 10 pounds down from my initial weight. I started around 184 point something, like mid 184s, and so now I'm officially down to 174.2 is my lowest weight. So 10 pounds is really good on the cut so far. I probably have 5 to 10 more pounds to go. Some of the biggest tips that I could give to you guys if you're trying to lose weight is number one, count your calories. It's so important. At the end of the day, it's basically calories in, calories out is what really determines if you're going to lose weight each day. And another important aspect is obviously cardio and strength training. So my strength training routine includes working out each muscle group twice per week. And I do 3 days of cardio at the treadmill at the gym. And then I try to get 10,000 steps average per day per week. And the way I do that is walks like this on the weekends or just after work if I have time on the days that I'm not doing cardio. So the cardio that I do at the gym started out as basically just an incline walk on the treadmill. And once that became too easy at a 3.4 mile per hour speed, 15% incline, which is the max of the treadmill that I use, I switched over to doing something called a farmer's carry, which is where you basically carry weights in each of your hands. I use 10-pound weights right now. And so I do that for 30 minutes at the start. And then what I have done for the past few months is every day I add 1 second on that I do the cardio. So now I'm at over 32 minutes and I believe 23 seconds. And 1 second a day may not seem like a lot, but it quickly adds up if you do cardio multiple times per week. One of the biggest hurdles of staying consistent in the gym is understanding that it cannot be based off motivation. It has to be based off of discipline. What I mean by that is on the days where you don't feel like going to the gym, you still have to go. You have to shift your mindset from it doesn't matter how I feel, it matters that the work has to get done regardless of how I feel. And that's a super difficult mindset shift to achieve. And so it's taken me years to get over that hurdle of being consistent with the gym. I've always had motivation in short bursts to go to the gym, but at the end of the day, I would be inconsistent. When I didn't want to go, I ended up not going, and I let my mind get the best of me. During my sophomore year of college, I obviously had gym access. However, it was pretty far from where I was, and I just wasn't consistent. I made excuses. During my junior year, however, my dorm happened to be right next to the gym, and I knew this was my chance to stay consistent. So for that entire year, I went to the gym consistently, and that started me on my journey of conquering the mind and just developing a love for fitness and being healthy. So one of the tips I have to get over the mental hurdle of not wanting to go to the gym on some days, and whenever you're feeling that tiredness, maybe it's after work for you, maybe you're sick that day, whatever it may be, what I do is I ask myself, do I want the results? At the end of the day, when I'm laying in bed for that night and I ask myself, what did I accomplish today? Do I want to be like, I was lazy, I didn't go to the gym? Or do I want to say, I put my best effort into going to the gym today? I worked out, maybe I didn't feel 100%, but I gave 100% of what I had that day. And the answer for me is I always want the results. And because the answer is always going to be I want the results, I want to feel better, and I want to stay consistent with my goals, and I want to achieve everything that I've set out to do, I feel this obligation to myself to not let myself down and continue to go to the gym. And even just asking that one question has gotten me through days where I really don't want to go. I'm not saying everyone should be this extreme, but for me, even if I have a sore throat, I'm sick, I still go to the gym. The reason is because I learned lessons on those days of I still am able to push through it. So I really appreciate the easier days where I may not want to go, but I at least feel 100%. I've become so much stronger mentally and honestly physically since it involves working out. It's also a huge benefit that working out, doing cardio, and eating healthy all dramatically extend your life expectancy, which is huge because you're actually investing in yourself for the future and you're going to feel better throughout your entire life. And by developing this discipline, you're going to be able to improve all aspects of your life because you can channel this discipline and apply it to anywhere else in your life where you may lack discipline. Another excuse I always had was that after work or school, I always felt so tired and I had no energy, especially no motivation to actually go and work out, lift weights, do cardio. But I realized that it's quite the opposite. You may not feel the best in the moment, but right after working out, or even once you start, you actually feel so much better. It's literally like medicine, especially after doing steady state cardio. The way you feel getting that runner's high, you feel so much better. Your body feels rejuvenated and you feel nothing like before. In fact, you actually feel more energized than you did to start the day, which is such a crazy feeling. After seeing how far I've come with my fitness and health journey, it's really opened my eyes to the fact that I was leaving so much on the table before I started, and it's really continued to motivate me to push past any barriers I thought weren't possible, because it's just time in, putting in the work, and eventually things will happen. I truly believe that the hardest part to achieving any goal is simply starting, because your mind gets the best of you, and it certainly has for me with a lot of aspects of my life. And once you get started, everything kind of just eventually works out. Maybe you're going to experience failures along the way, but those are actually just lessons. And the beauty in failing is you're one less failure away from succeeding. And every time you fail, as long as you learn something, I see it as a positive. So try to start whatever it is in your life that you may not feel comfortable to, because at the end of the day, we don't have a lot of time on this earth. It may feel like that at sometimes, but you can just look around and see people lose their lives tragically way too young. So the time is right now to start anything that you may want to. Once you get started trying to achieve your goal, everything kind of just falls into place. And what I mean by that is not the fact that everything's going to be perfect. You're going to fail, you're going to have wins, losses, but everything falls into place in the sense that something is guiding you towards the goal, and the failures are a part of that. A lot of people are discouraged by failures, but the way to look at it is as it's a lesson. Whenever you fail, it means you're learning what not to do and what also you should do in the future, and there's a ton of value in that. Another important part of strengthening your mind is going through tough times and seeing the value and being able to look back on those tough times and realize that they were actually beneficial for your long-term character. One example for me is that I had an internship in downtown LA that required me to wake up at 4:30 a.m. every day, and this absolutely wiped me out mentally because I was getting very little sleep. I was extremely tired during the internship, but at the end of the day, I continued to go to the gym, and as a result of me staying consistent with this, even on days where I was practically falling asleep while driving, I developed such a strong discipline, but I continued to stay consistent and go to the gym, and I told myself that no matter how I feel, I'm just going to push through it, because I really didn't want to miss a day at the gym because I was so consistent with it. And in doing this, I had tons of days where I had zero energy, but I just pushed through some workouts, and this allowed me to have this kind of mental picture in my mind that I'm able to play anytime I don't want to go to the gym, and basically say, you did an entire summer where you were sleep deprived, going to the gym, pushing, grinding. And so that experience, along with others in my life, have allowed me to develop this replay mode that I can go back into anytime I don't feel like doing something, and say, if you don't feel good today, just imagine how you felt during the internship. And it gives you strength in the moment to realize that how you feel now is not as bad, and you know that you can get today done because you've done harder days. So harder days are actually good because you can use them to strengthen your mind, look back on them, and take some strength in knowing that you've done worse. And it's just taught me the fact that while things seem hard in the beginning or even impossible, just trying them, being willing to fail, is a huge way to get closer to your goals. I hope that anyone watching this video is able to use some of the things that I said today to use it as a little boost of confidence to get you over the mental hurdle that may have been stopping you from getting started, because as I said earlier, it just takes getting started. You'll be surprised how much better everything gets once you just get started.
Just gonna eat breakfast real quick and then head to the gym.
Just finished up at the gym. That was a good tricep shoulder day, and now I'm gonna head back home. All right, so now I'm cooking dinner. We have a bunch of ground beef patties here. I'm eating 2 tonight. The macros are 380 calories per patty with 26 grams of protein, and the rest of these I'm gonna meal prep throughout the week. So we also have pasta cooking inside. It's 3 servings, which is a total of 600 calories, 200 per serving, and so that gets me to my 2,600 calorie goal for the day. And so that concludes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, go ahead and drop a like below, and also comment. I will be responding to every single comment. And here's a quick preview of my shoe collection. I'm going to be doing a full video where I go over each pair I have and some of the backstories behind the shoes. So stay tuned for that video as well. I'm also going to be traveling next week, so stay tuned for that. There's going to be a ton of great content coming. So I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.